Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm AmberEnergy healer and tarot, and I'm doing a pick a card reading. We are going to be using, I believe, angel cards so that you can pick your piles. It will be an angel card and a stone, okay, a crystal of some sort. Okay, so go ahead and pick your pile. If you don't know how they work, what you're going to do is you're going to pick a pile, and then you can go down in the timestamps and you can find specifically where your pile starts and just click on that timestamp and it will take you right there. Or you can just watch the whole video if you would like, whichever one resonates with you. If you're called to just one pile intuitively, then that's your pile. If you are intuitively guided to more than one pile, maybe all of them, then that will be your pile. So just go ahead and have fun, and remember, when it comes to tarot, take whatever resonates and leave the rest behind. Don't try to fit things into places that they don't actually belong with your specific situation, because this is a collective general reading, okay? But the reading is timeless, so without further ado, pick your pile. Hi there, pile 1 with the white quartz rock thing. You have to excuse me, I do not know really my crystal names, so don't mind the ignorance in that. But if anybody would like to let me know what these are or what they are called, then please let me know. It has a very pure energy and it has a very loving energy. And a very fresh energy. Okay, so pile 1. Your angel card says creative writing. Archangel Gabriel. Make time to write down your thoughts in a journal, or pen an article, or a book. Maybe you guys are book writers. Maybe you guys should be book writers. Maybe you should be journaling. Or maybe it's time for you to rewrite your story, your actual life story. Let's find out. Okay, alright, so Spirit, my guides. Okay, right off the top, your pile seems to have something that you need to walk away from. It may feel almost forced in the moment, but you need to trust and believe that this is actually something that is meant to bring you good luck as part of your karmic cycle turning. If you allow yourself to follow your truth, then you allow yourself to seek after what you want and what you know is right. It will bring you a very happy life, or at least a very happy experience. However, that experience is going to be found by splitting up with some type of relationship or possibly some family conflict. So allow yourself to walk on your own path. Don't try to fall into anybody else's standard or compromise your happiness to be able to fit in and eventually contorting yourself to fit into this box that you weren't designed for. You will find support. You will find like a soul tribe who will help you with this turn. but don't be opposed to them if you do meet them, for when you do need them. Yes. Now is the time. There's some type of new proposal, new relationship, something very emotionally fulfilling. As of right now, you're dealing with some grief. You feel like you're being abandoned, or you're feeling unloved. You feel like you are having to, like your glass is half empty in your eyes. But this is where that perception change should be held differently. If you want to find that new opportunity, you need to open your eyes to the fact that sometimes it takes leaving things behind. Sometimes it takes building your own bridges to where you want to go, instead of allowing yourself to get trapped with the emotional turmoil or the emotional disruption. Appreciate your emotions, love yourself for having them, and then take only what is necessary with you forward. Because sometimes when our glass is half empty, and sometimes when our cup spills out emotionally, it's actually so that the universe can have somewhere to pour our new emotional fulfillment into. You may feel restless, you may feel trapped a little bit. You could be suffering a little bit of like depression. This is simply because it's worse, because you are not being accountable for what you have created or caused out of your own life misfortunes. So accountability is key here. If you allow people to be the other reason or the only reason that we became a certain way, then what we do at that point is we're allowing them to have control over how we turn out. And that's not going to get anybody very far, letting everybody else control their outcome. So it's very, very, very vital and very key for you guys to really, truly step into your own power and realize that everything that you did right because you did it right. And everything you did it wrong because you did it wrong. And everything that you have done that has caused you to ever have a hiccup or an obstacle in your way, it only can happen if we chose to only take that direction. So if you really truly put yourself as the one that's being accountable in the situation, you're going to find that you're the one driving. You're the one that can choose if you leave right then or not. You're the one that's able to decide how long you're going to be miserable and how long it's going to take for you to be successful. There's so many options out in the world, and it's about finding them. But if you limit yourself because you think that you're powerless, then you're limiting the options, and you're not going to, it's going to be a self-fulfilled destiny, essentially. And your destiny is actually supposed to be very fulfilling. So reach out to those people that can help you. Find security in what you have. Decide what is a necessity that you don't and that you're longing for, and all the rest, it's all bonuses. Also, if you're somebody that has children and you're not with the parent maybe or something like that, it's important to understand that the only way to find real happiness is to find people who are experiencing the same life as what you wish to have. So if you're looking for somebody who is going to be worth your time, or something that's going to be fulfilling for you, and you've got kids and then they don't, and they're out partying still, you're going to constantly be feeling burdened by this relationship or resentful towards your children, because you can't live both lives. If you're somebody who wants your kids, maybe you're somebody that doesn't actually have your child in custody or something, and you aren't living the life of what a mom or dad would be with the child in their care, then you're not going to manifest that child into your care. So if you know that your child would have to be up every day at a certain time for school, start getting yourself up every day at that certain time. If you know your child is going to need X amount of money every month to be able to take care of them, so for food bills or transportation, etc., start saving that same amount of money every single month until you get that child. If you know that you're going to need somebody that can babysit, while you are working every day, start finding somebody before you have the child, or make sure that you are capable of being in a job that is going to allow you to have the hours that you need, etc. If you really, or maybe just research the programs, research different daycares, things like that get everything prepared before you set out to get that goal. It doesn't just have to be kids, it could be a business, all right? Like if you know that, or getting a new house, that your bill is going to be this much money every month. Find a way to get that much money every month and start doing it before you ever find the house. Get all your things that you don't need to use packed up before you find a place to move. That's what's telling the universe that you're serious. If you're planning on doing a certain job, start studying. Even if you're not in school for it, start studying for it now. Spend the same amount of hours every day that you would spend at that work once you get that job studying. And you'll find things are going to start literally falling into place for you. You can't level up if you keep yourself on a lower level, expecting somebody to just pull you up one day. If your other friends aren't going to join you by changing their ways, start finding new friends, or start allowing them to not stay as a part of your life. Let them transition their way out. Don't take that as abandonment. Take that as taking a new route on a different time, in a different path. Because only going to be lonely as long as you allow yourself to be lonely. There's definitely people for everything out there that you will love and you'll get along with, as long as you allow the space to be open and your heart to be open. Yeah, you're being really called to allow yourself to transition out of whatever lifestyle you're in right now, or relationship that you may be in, or thought process that you're in, and stop letting your ego be the thing that keeps you there. Allow yourself to be the newbie in a group. They're still learning. And rather than keeping yourself in a lower group just because you know that you're top dog. Trust in your manifestations, trust in the news that's going to be coming for you, and trust in the fact that you are a student of the universe, and there's no time like right now to start doing your studying and to start going on your, living your dreams, seeking your dreams, discovering what your dreams even are. It may feel burdening. It's going to seem like a lot of work. But I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with success, though. But there's two different ways to notice this work. There's the one way where you could think that you're carrying everybody's burdens and you are just, you're wanting to get it all done right away, and you're frustrated and everything seems to be like pulling apart and falling apart above you right when you're finally almost at the finish line, because you're trying to power your way through, force your way through, or which could lead you to success also. Not saying it's a bad option, but there is another option if you're feeling tired from these burdens, stresses, and these worries and these projects that it's hard to just cross that finish line. Take a step back or take a little pause. Reevaluate your situation. And you'll see that you've been carrying it as if they were all separate entities and separate issues, separate burdens, that were just thrown on. If you allow yourself to wrap everything up into one bundle, and maybe it's paying your bills, maybe that's what you're stressing on, right? Maybe you don't know how to pay your bills on time every month. Get a loan, pay all the bills with the loan, and then just pay that loan off every month. Then you don't have consolidate it. So basically consolidate your burdens and realize that a lot of them already are. You just need to grab a little bit lower. You need to reposition your mental space and just recollect your everything. Don't let it go fray like it is right now. And you'll realize it's going to be a lot easier, and you're almost done. You just have to keep pushing forward and reground. Whatever this relationship is, or partnership, it could be a work thing, it could be a romance thing. It is what I was referring to in the beginning as well. Whatever this is, let it fall apart. If it's falling apart, let it fall apart. Because there's some type of illusion or lies that could be happening. And it's really holding your growth down. If you're meant to be with the person, you'll be with them. They'll grow with you. If they're the one that's growing and you're the one that's stalling, if you're meant to be with them, you'll grow with them. Because it seems like one of you is going to be experiencing some bad news or instability, or kind of like a naive approach, I guess, to say, to the relationship itself, let alone life. And they're looking in the past, and that's what's giving you help in the past. You need to look forward and have confidence in that. Allow the mistakes, the illnesses, the wishes that you feel like weren't granted to you, allow those to be left behind with those other cups that you're leaving behind. Sometimes God's greatest gifts are the unanswered prayers. Now, those are going to be mistakes and things that are in the present moment. That's not past mistakes, and that's not future mistakes. That's like what you are experiencing on this daily basis of things that you feel like you keep messing up with. They're okay. You're still here. Tomorrow is still here. So just try again. Try different. Just change something. And one of these times, you'll get it right. If you're uncertain about yourself, if you're uncertain about your intuition, if you're uncertain about anything like that, seek out mentors. Seek out some type of counseling. Figure it out in your own mind before you try to figure out other people out. Because it's not for us to try to figure anybody out. It's for us to love people as they are, and if we can't do that, then we won't need them around. There's nothing in life that's permanent. but we certainly have a funny way of making things seem permanent. Step out of that illusion and allow yourself to step into your own intuitive nature. And if that's scary to you, then just meditate on it and realize sometimes the things that we think are the scary things are actually the things that are going to save us. And I think that's all I'm going to do for you guys is pile. Also, with the creative writing thing, you're going to need to take an approach with your life that is off the norm. It's going to be the non-traditional approach. You don't seem like you're necessarily a traditional individual, which is why you have trouble fitting in certain areas. Write your story. Be your own author and realize that even the best novels, even the best scripts, even the best movies took multiple drafts to finish. And we are able to rewrite our past in our mind as well. If something makes you miserable to think about, but you can't stop thinking about it, don't start thinking about it different. Find that silver lining, and you can literally change your reality, which will bring you a much better reality. Love and light. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Hello there, pile 2. With this brown stone. Your pile has gotten a lot of angel cards, actually. I decided to keep all of them. So here they are. All is well. Archangel Jeremiel. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. Clear your space, Archangel Jophiel. Get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use Feng Shui. You know what to do. Archangel Uriel. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. And last but not least, Archangel Raguel, Divine Order. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. Let's see what the cards say. Your pile deals with addiction or addictive negative beliefs. Then Spirit really wants you to understand that you are loved regardless of if you have them or not, but you need to discover why it is that you don't love yourself enough to not have them, or why you don't feel strong enough to engage yourself without them. So, you are meant to be a person. You are a person who's spicy, confident, and self-assured. That goes for not only your connections with other people, but also your sexuality, your creative endeavors, just you as a being on this earth are meant to be confident and self-assured in your ways of life and your ways of acting. It's time to allow yourself to put your connection with spirit as your driving force, and also as your self-limiter. Okay, sometimes we have to limit ourselves, sometimes we have to restrict ourselves if we want to accomplish a goal. We can't rely on other people to put us on time. We can't rely on other people to be the ones to make the good decisions all the time. We need to really self-restrict ourselves. The worst that can happen is that you don't have as much fun for a little bit, and then you go back to exactly how you were. The best that can happen is you realize that you like it, that way of life, better, and so you transition and you grow and you become the more experienced individual. It's much easier to be the one that is limiting yourself rather than waiting until somebody else forces a limitation upon you. Like jail or timeout or for a kid, or a breakup, or, like rehab. They try to restrict yourself before it comes down to the point where someone else is putting that restriction on you. Oftentimes when we are restrained or restricted by people, not restrained, that's different, but when we're restricted by people, or if we have somebody who's like an overbearing family member, things like that, or partner or boss, oftentimes it's for a good reason that they're being that way. It's mostly out of fear, right? But there also is probably some truth in your actions that are a justification for that fear. And we let our ego usually be the thing that is telling us that we need this freedom, but we need to rebel and we need to do what we want to do. And we don't think that far ahead of it to realize that maybe that this is what we should do, because we don't want to deal with our own shadows yet. We don't want to deal with our own obstacles. We don't want to deal with our own faults. And that's going to be something that helps you with your relationships and things, because what it becomes is that you're resentful for these people wanting to protect you when you're not willing to protect yourself. You can have fun, and you can be feisty, and you can be self-assured, and you can be a private individual without putting yourself at risk. So love yourself enough that you're not doing unnecessary risks. Some are fine occasionally, but you'll know the difference if you really love yourself. I feel like you may be a person who is a little bit on the stubborn side when it comes to taking advice or listening to advice, or allowing yourself to see that there might be purity in not gossiping, and purity and not seeking out like quick satisfaction of people just agreeing with you when they're not really looking at your best interests. And it's okay not to take advice from others, but you really need to help people. It's also okay to take it if it's offered or asked for. You may have met somebody who is a pretty strong and solid, practical individual who's going to be able to guide you. If that doesn't resonate with you, then this could be very well that that's who you're meant to be. That's who your divine masculine is. And you're going to find yourself rapidly changing into that. If you really want something, let it go and see if it comes back. And if you trust enough in yourself to know that you are stable, then don't hold on to the things that are unnecessary, like the material things that make you feel good about yourself. You can lighten your grip on them a little bit. That could also be a relationship that you feel like it's insecure, so you're going to tighten your grip on it and then put a chokehold on it and hope it doesn't escape. And what you're doing, you're then killing your chance of a bigger manifestation from happening. You need to learn how to love with nurture and not with a stronghold. You also need to understand that finding a stable environment, a stable love, and a stable financial situation also means that you yourself need to be the one that's reliable. Relying on other people leaves you in their hands. Relying on somebody else for your happiness leaves them in your hands. And that's not reliable. That's not, if you have trouble trusting yourself sometimes, then I can guarantee you're going to need to have trouble trusting somebody else with yourself sometimes. Okay, like you might be better off just trusting yourself. Once you realize that the love that you have experienced and the stability that you've experienced in the financial mindset that you have been accustomed to is really not the one that's bringing you happiness. The one that will bring you happiness you haven't quite fully tapped into yet. And hopefully when that divine masculine does arrive, or when you step into that power of it, you will realize that you've had the power all along to have your happiness. And so what a great gift that will be for you yourself to be able to step into that. I feel like right now you could be kind of like limiting yourself with illusions. Either that, or up until this point you may have been, but things are going to be coming out in the open soon. Deceitfulness or like false beliefs or illusions are going to be brought to clarity for you. Because right now you're in the dark with them. You're wrapped up in the smoke and mirrors. I feel like you're letting your shadows actually make you run from that spiritual connection and to then dim your inner light. So soon enough you're going to find that those shadows, those very shadows, are actually what can allow your inner light to shine the brightest once you learn how to harness them, embrace them, and incorporate them within yourself. It takes a special kind of darkness for a star to be able to shine. And the moon as well. We only see the moon because it's reflecting the good from other people. It's reflecting the sun's energy while it stands in its own darkness still. So be that moon. Be that reflection. Instead of reflecting the darkness that people are putting out, reflect the light that people are shining. And you yourself will then be standing illuminated in the light, regardless of how dark your past and how dark your shadows may be. So just mirror those. Mirror that sun energy. Mirror the positive things that people are putting up. I feel like there is going to be a pretty big wave or a heavy feeling of betrayal. You're going to realize that you've been betraying yourself, your connections have been betraying you, or maybe your truth will betray your truth. And that's okay, and you're going to survive it. This could also, for some of you, it's going to be different, but for some of you it's going to be that there has been a ultimate betrayal, or you have exercised a betrayal on somebody else, or maybe even an actual death in somebody that's been close to you. Trust in the divine order of this. Trust that everything is meant to be how it is, and allow yourself to clear your space energetically and physically. So if you've got letters from the person that betrayed you, just get rid of them. If somebody has passed away, then release them with peace, knowing that they are okay and they're in the divine's hands. If it's you that betrayed somebody else, write down the lessons that you learned and get rid of those thoughts of shame or guilt, because it's over. If the person isn't accepting your apology, then that's on them. As long as you have changed yourself, at least in that area, you've truly shown that you've learned your lesson and you've communicated it, then the rest is just because they are not in a spot in their life to be able to forgive yet. That's their journey. So don't waste your time trying to pull them into realization that they could be happy again. Just let yourself grow through your lessons, and that's what you need to worry about. And the last card for this group is it's time to find balance between your connections with people, your inner confidence and your inner light, and that divine guidance that you know that you are picking up on and you haven't wanted to tap into yet. Or you just, maybe you've been tapping into it, but you haven't been acting on it because your confidence has been low, and it's time to realize that you are fully about being, and that's what state you should be in. The only reason for imbalance is because of uncertainty, and uncertainty is caused by our ego and our human thoughts and traits and actions, and none of that needs to be the driving force to throw you off balance. And I know it's hard to do and easier to say, however, a lot of things that you've done in your life have been hard. And one of the worst things that can happen, one of the hardest things that can happen in life, opinion, is letting people down and letting yourself down and failing. So why create a certain fate for yourself if there's a chance that you might not the other way? One way is certain, one way is not. So sometimes it just takes allowing yourself to want to be different and wanting a different experience in this world. And like I said, the worst that can happen is you go back to how you were. The best that can happen is you realize that you love it and you transition. So that's what I've got for your pile. Thank you for watching and staying for the whole thing. Please like and subscribe. Comment if you have just any bits of information to say. Tell me what resonated, etc. Please make sure that you like and subscribe, and share with your friends if you'd like, and watch some of the other piles that you like tonight. Love and light, and I wish the best for you and for everyone. Hello there, pile 3, with the green stone, I guess. I don't know what the name of any of these are. I'm sorry for that. Let me know in what they are. Your pile got 2 cards, 2 angel cards. The first one is Comfort. Archangel Azrael. I'm with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. And your second card is Chakra Clearing, Archangel Metatron. Call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. Cool. Let's see what we've got for you. This could be one of the more intuitive piles. It's also, if that doesn't resonate with you, this also could mean that it's not always necessary to say everything that you know. It's also not always necessary to hide things from people that they may need to know. It's up to having your own intuition and your own judgment on what is necessary to be voicing and what does not. But always trust your inner truth. You may be experiencing some delays with solving an issue, or possibly returning home, or basically you're allowing yourself to be so focused on the truth of your past or of what you know, which is the more emotional turmoil option, versus allowing yourself to head towards the future of what you may not know yet, but you know that you're heading in the direction of what you think that you should be doing, your actual truth. If that's a travel delay is a car, then that could be that maybe you're holding on to a car that you don't really need anymore and you should sell it and look to getting a new one and transitioning through. But it could be that maybe there's a different route of transportation that you could be taking that you're not allowing yourself to see that. If it's a relationship, it could be that you're clinging on to who they were and who you thought that they are, but you're not paying attention to who they are now or who they're going to be. And if it's a work situation, it could be that you are miserable at your job, but you went to school for this job, and so you think that you have to stay in this job, or that's what you already know, so you're staying in it when there's so many other options that you could be experiencing or trying. So, and if it's moving, maybe like actually leaving locations to a new house for some of you. An example would be like you are insistent on staying in a city that you know the people in, even though you know that the people might not be that great for you, or that you are, like you don't know what's ahead of you, but you know that you want cleaner air or maybe less population, or, but instead of moving out of the city, you're staying where you're at because this is where you know. So you're literally doing your fresh start, you're delaying your progress because you want to almost stay cowered or protected in the past. Which causes you to experience the same troubles over and over and over again. The universe is trying to give you a new job or a new raise or a new direction or a new income stream, something financial or something secure. It could be just a better security relationship, but no matter what it is, the universe is trying to hand it to you. It's going to be something that is, it looks a little overwhelming in the future. It could have been a little bit intimidating, like, wow, it's going to be a lot to climb. Like, I'm already on this flat, peaceful ground over here, take that leap, take that chance. It's going to be worth it for you if that's what you're seeking. If you're looking for stability and you're looking for financial stability and you're looking for just protection in every way, shape, or form, then go for that risky hard work that off in the distance, and reach for it and you'll be able to get it. The universe is guiding you. And also with that, you're getting it because of your past. So if you're somebody that beats yourself up over your past, and you're like, I don't deserve this blessing that might be coming to me, or I am not going to be capable of reaching this mountaintop. If you're somebody that thinks like that because of who you were, understand right now, this is very important that you know. Your past is what made you earn this blessing. So drop the excuses and understand that you are only capable of climbing this mountain to reach that goal, to gain this protection and this power and this prosperity because of who you were when you were messing up and screwing up and had these bad things happen to you. During that depression, during that anxiety, during those bad choices, during that toxic relationship, that is what built those muscles that are making you worthy of taking that blessing. So don't believe the false lies. When people tell you you're never going to be something because of this, or you can't do this because of this, or, you're never going to find somebody better than this, throw it all out the window. You are guaranteed to because of that. The person that is causing you to feel that way, or to make you feel down and not capable of reaching that goal, is somebody who is very cruel. They may have some type of sexual perversion, which is causing them to be that way. They're doing it out of malice, and it's out of resentment because of envy. So ignore them. You don't need their sword. It may be a family member or somebody that you have a family with. If it's not a romance type situation, then it could be a partnership with work. It could be a boss. It could be literally your coworker or your partner. But it's somebody that's close to home, in a place that you should feel comforted and at harmony with, you think. But you're experiencing discord and lack of harmony and arguments and things like that. And again, it's because they're envious of what they know that you're possibly capable of. It's their own shadow work. So let them say it, let them do it, let them think it. It doesn't need to be your reality just because it's their reality. A lot of people will tell you that it's the best revenge is to prove the person wrong, right? But the problem with that as advice, although it is partially true, right? It does feel very good. But what the problem with that is when you do that, you're allowing your own happiness from your success to fall into their hands again. Because that person has every right to still act resentful and envious and shady, and to be like, well, you did it, but you didn't do it this good. Sure, you got there, but look at the car you brought, right? Yeah, I'm sure you found somebody that you're in love with, but they'll never be like this person. And all that hard work that you did trying to prove this person wrong, destroyed in one comment. Don't do that to yourself. That is a setup for failure. The best revenge to get on anybody is no revenge. The best reward to get is to accomplish what you want and you set out for, and to be comfortable where you're at. It's nobody else's job or nobody else's place to tell you what your life purpose is. Some people aren't created like everybody else, and we get put in these family dynamics, and we meet people that are our blood, that we think that we have to stand next to our entire lives, and we don't realize that just because somebody was born from somebody or born into a family, that they are going to just get along personality wise. We didn't choose like, oh, my child is going to have this personality, or my mom is going to have this personality, my stepdad is going to have this personality. Like, these aren't choices that we make. We get obligated into the relationships, and of course there should be an ultimate respect for each other, and unfortunately the world doesn't always work like that. And of course everybody should unconditionally love each other and accept them as they are and just lift them up where they are falling, but the world doesn't always work like that. And of course we should not treat other people poorly because we were treated poorly, but again, the world doesn't always work like that. And so to tell yourself these things, it's a great goal, for yourself, but you can't count on everybody else to be living up to that goal or to even want to, right? So when you realize that that's not the dynamic that you're in, understand that there's a lesson that was more important that you learned than that connection actually truly was meant to be, and study that lesson. If you have a parent that was always overbearing and who is critical and judgmental, learn from that. Look at what they were critical and judgmental of, and then embrace yourself if it's something that you're truly okay with, and learn how to love yourself with that same intensity, and how to not be critical and judgmental of anybody else. Live the life that you wish that people were living towards you. Only take the positive from the things. If your parents yelled at you all the time because of what you were doing and that's something that damaged you, seek out the knowledge of how that is fear-based out of love, though. When bad things happen to us, don't get angry at the universe. Don't get angry at other people for letting it happen. Be thankful that you're still even in a position where you have the ability to be angry, first of all. You survived it. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back for being a survivor, and figure out maybe what went wrong, maybe what you could do next time different, or maybe figure out just what you did right. Don't focus on the bad part of it. Focus on how you survived it. Focus on what you did, what people did for you that helped, what they didn't do to you that could have happened. And you'll start to realize that most of our misery in our lives has been self-inflicted from lack of self-love and lack of understanding of other people's damage. Unfortunately for this pile, I believe either recently you went through a breakup or heartbreak of some sort when you were on your way to it. It's due to having a lack of trust. It's due to allowing obstacles to make you stop rather than to motivate you to keep going. But also trust and believe that those obstacles were placed there as like speed bumps. Because if you weren't going to have the right momentum to get over it, then you weren't meant to get over it. So be thankful for that heartbreak that, in that case, because it probably is saving you from a lot bigger of one that could happen later on if you continue to stay in it and you continue to allow yourself not to trust, not to try with the full momentum that's needed for this scenario. Because of that being the new understanding, hopefully, that you have on the situation, you will have a better future after that. You will be experiencing a wonderful opportunity, a wonderful new start or new idea that you wouldn't have had, which is going to lead you to being self-sufficient and happy and confident, which you wouldn't have had. You are going to be victorious. Without a doubt. And I think that you are only thinking otherwise because of the illusions and deceptions that you're showing yourself. It's really important that you allow yourself to balance out your chakras and clear them. If you are interested in having an energy clearing session with me, I can do that for you. Just go ahead and send me an email to amberenergyhealer@gmail.com, or online on my website. You can also book an appointment. That will really help your pile if you have at least once, but preferably a few times. You can really truly get your energies flowing again the natural way. And yeah, please make sure that you like and subscribe, of course, please, and share my videos if you liked them, or even if you didn't like them, because somebody you know might. And hope you enjoyed your reading. I will see you next video. Love and light.